talk to you about your consciousness as a house that you live in. Now, one of the things that I have really had to get clear on in order to start cleaning up my point of attraction. And let me just tell you, I've been working on this for some time now. And it's like the more work I do, the clearer I get. And for me right now, really what it's about, and this is a hot tip for you, hopefully it will save you some time and some energy and maybe some long suffering. This is beginning to see the things that furnish your house. And this is a metaphor for consciousness. And when you start to look, you might see there's a lot of things in your home, in your consciousness. And this is coming up big time for me, like literally as a metaphor, as I have been in transition from my home for many months now, and in the process of relocating my home and discovering what my home is. And so this has been at the forefront for me. And so I begin to look around and I see objects that I've collected, throughout my life at different times. And I've had to start, like that. I can't remember her name. You guys probably know. If you know, you can put it in the box. The woman who does this whole ritual of whether to give things away or save them by holding them and seeing how they feel. This can be similar because it requires honesty. And by honesty, I mean looking at the mental structures that we've held on to because we picked them up at certain parts of our life and there's a lot of emotional attachment to them. And so they may have been of service at a particular time in our evolution and our growth, that we've held on to them because they have sentimental value, because maybe somebody we really care about helped us develop this item in our house of consciousness. And so taking the time to just peruse around your house of consciousness and see what's there, and then just with incredible authenticity and honesty, hold that object or that belief or that remnant of some part of your evolution and really ask yourself, is this still serving me? Or is it just taking up space in my consciousness? Is it just taking up space in my home where I live? And if the answer is no, it's no longer serving me, I'd like to have it around because it reminds me of who I am, then I invite you to be, I don't want to use the word brutally because I don't like the intention of that. But I don't like what that implies. But what I would like to say is, if it's not a definite, yes, this is serving me, then it's time to let it go because it's no longer serving you. It's clouding up. It's taking up space in your home, which is affecting your point of attraction. And so just like there are people that hoard, or there are people that just collect things in their cabinets and they don't really use them, but they don't really want to get rid of them. That's just, to me, an outward expression of the same thing that a lot of people do internally. And so at this month where we celebrate all that has transitioned to another form, which we call death. And we celebrate what's behind the veil through the celebration of Halloween, which many people call it. But traditionally, it was a celebration of a transformation of life and of death and of rebirth and letting go of those things that aren't serving us, that we might be still holding on to. And so in a way, they're kind of haunting our house of consciousness. which could be getting in the way of creating what we say that we truly want in our hearts. So for me, this was like, really honestly taking a look like, I've had that right over there in that corner for a long time, and it feels like comfortable because it's been there for so long, but I don't really use it. And I really could just move it out and repurpose this space, And so there is a sense of nostalgia attached to it, a sense, perhaps maybe people might have a sense of loss or a sense of loyalty to that, object that's been taking up that space, even though it's not serving them. So just got really razor sharp, like haven't used it, don't need it. Yes, there's emotion attached to it, but it's served its purpose, and I thank it, and now I'm letting it go. And then looking in another corner of your consciousness and going, oh, that's interesting. I didn't notice that there. It's been there for so long. But that's no longer it no longer meets my aesthetic delight. So I'm going to put that on Craigslist and sell it or give it away, because it is no longer in service of helping me create the kind of life that I truly long to live. And so in this case, it is getting that like laser sharp vision with yourself about what's inhabiting your consciousness, what you've allowed to stay, and what needs to go. And this Halloween, right, when we celebrate, the dead, the ghosts and the goblins, right, that are really haunting, or that we're allowing, the energy that we're allowing in our consciousness, like it's not serving the living. So it needs to go. And so this is a time where you might experience something on some level of a sense of loss or death. But it's really an opportunity to mourn and to celebrate. The things that may have been of service to you, but no longer needed. And that when you're cleaning the space out, you're creating space for what you do want, for new life, for new expression, to attract, something that is enlivening to you now. And so I wanted to share this with you because it just came up for me today in regard to the transformation and transition that I have been in this week after launching my course, and seeing naturally what came up in regards to what I need to let go, what's been inhabiting my space that's not in service of how I want to be a contribution in the world. So anyways, just a couple of nuggets of wisdom around, cleaning up your point of attraction. And I just couldn't resist using the metaphor of the haunted house. Because the theme of home and the house has been such a powerful metaphor in my life for this entire year, like the place that I live. Because I've been in major transition, I've been traveling and moving, and really been examining and questioning, what home is. Is it a location? Is it a feeling? Or is it just you?